positions. 11th, they should be treated as such. The Bears are back, baby!
Hello and welcome back to episode 58 on the 1st of October. Happy Halloween season.
Gotta get our Halloween decorations.
We got a pumpkin.
But no, we have entered, I think, the greatest time of the year when it comes to sports. You have baseball, you have football, you have hockey starting up. I mean, there's
basketball starts.
Basketball starts. Everything seems to be starting. This is, me as a sports fan, my favorite time of the year. But yes, happy episode 58. We have a lot to cover this week. We have got the Ryder Cup. A lot came out of the Ryder Cup, whether that was Roy McIlroy talking about the fans or that was the United States.
That was awesome.
People are saying that they really didn't play all that good, but when you really look at the numbers, it was just Europe played.
The team play.
I mean, amazing. Like
that too.
USA played really good when it came to score. Mm-hmm. Europe they knew how to play together as a team.
They dominated.
So I have because me and Chris kind of talked about that, and some people complaining. I think I have a good explanation, which kind of
talk about that, like why we kind of think that the Europeans always do better.
My thing, it's very like when I say it, it's going to be like, well, duh. But most of the people on social media aren't kind of pointing to that. We had another big week in the NFL. A lot of Jackson Dart. We were very very high on him. We also, I don't know if you want to say it, but settled the debate whether you want Baker or Jalen Hurts. We'll get into that just because that's been very popular on our show. Fourth and long, like always, and then we will go into some college games because there were some big ones where the season's kind of been a little lackluster. There were some good ones, and the Week 5 preview. And then, of course, to round it off, like we do every show, the bets of the week and the KUTT Bet of the week. We've kind of gotten screwed on the KUTT Bet of the week.
We have. This week is different, though. But speaking of that, this episode is sponsored by KUTT Bet. KUTT Bet is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that allows its users to wager directly with other users on any public result in sports, entertainment, politics, and more. Pretty much anything you could think of. Sign up today using code i75Live. And stay tuned in later for, obviously, our KUTT Bet of the week. Hopefully it's different this week. We chose one of our favorites.
And we've lost the past 2 weeks. We've lost in like the last minute of the game on both of them.
Stupid.
We lost to the blocked field goal by the Eagles, and then we lost to Matthew Stafford launching a ball.
Pretty much A.D. Mitchell, actually, is why we lost.
That too. But yes, no, to Ryder Cup. Look, to keep it very simple, I think Europe played very, very good team golf. And they scored very well. The U.S. also scored very well.
We dominated on Sunday.
We did dominate on Sunday. And so to me, that sums up what a Europe's team was versus what our team was. Because I truly think the United States, our team, we just had a bunch of the top golfers. And it was, hey, let's put them together and see what sticks.
Like an all-star team.
Like an all-star
team. That doesn't have chemistry necessarily.
Kind of ironic that before the Ryder Cup a few weeks back when Keegan Bradley was naming his team, we alluded to the fact that he was doing this to kind of alleviate himself from blame. Ironically now, I could place most of the blame on him for how he set up those teams.
And he
Friday
took blame for it too.
And good thing on him. But I think there was it was Morikawa and whoever he was paired with on Friday was literally the worst possible matchup that you could have of all of the different combinations that you could have put together. Those two players should not have been playing together. It's almost like Bradley didn't even research his own players.
And then even DeChambeau and Scheffler wasn't good at all, where Scheffler just, his team golf just was not. But my thing is you had Europe where you had Justin Rose, you had Tommy Fleetwood, you had all these guys, Roy McIlroy, who's been playing Shane this Lowry. Type of golf with each other in pairs, in groups for years. Mm-hmm. So you have, what it came down to is when you look at the numbers of scoring of, going under and birdies and all that, it was pretty similar. But what really separated Europe from the United States was they honestly, I think, were a true team. Yep. They knew how to play with each other. They knew,
they knew how to pair players together.
They knew how to go through the dynamics of that to where, like I kind of said, the United States just kind of threw guys together and was hoping it was going to work without real chemistry.
Imagine this. So don't think about this for a minute. So you've got players that say drive really well, or maybe on certain fairways they play really good, or short irons. And then you have other players that maybe putt better. So you put guys together because you played enough of match play, which is a different type of, match play is different. So you put these guys together now, and now you offset one's weaknesses for one's strengths. Yeah. And where we just threw guys together and said, go out there and see what you can do.
Well, now
it didn't work.
I definitely think that they tried to do that.
Yeah,
They tried to like, DeChambeau can hit the ball, can drive a par 4.
Put him with the best
putter. Or, the guy who hits the most fairways, put him with Scotty Scheffler because Scotty Scheffler's irons and wedges are really good. So there were definitely thoughts behind it, so I don't want to say they just willy-nilled it.
But body of work, though, the Europeans have more body of work than we have.
That's what I'm trying to say. So when it really comes down to it, what wins these types of events is team chemistry and a team rather than just and my point to Sunday why the United States made a comeback because it was all singles.
Yep.
So they were all able to play by themselves like they normally do, not have to, and they almost came back and won. So that's kind of where I see it is Europe is just really, really good when it comes to team golf because a lot of the guys
they travel together, they fly together. A lot of Americans do everything separate. Yep. They're on private jets together. They're having beers together. They just have more camaraderie,
more chemistry.
Yep.
But I think obviously hindsight's 2020. Keegan Bradley should have played.
I mean, I don't know if you could say should have played. I don't think it would have mattered. Maybe if he.
How do they determine the captains for the Ryder Cup?
You just
why was he picked?
You get voted. You get picked.
I think it should be Tiger Woods for the next 10 years.
Yeah, why isn't it?
Well, the Europe guy has been there for many years.
Did he? Yeah. So is he a retired golfer? Who was the captain for Europe?
I don't honestly know. I don't want to misspeak. I just know that he's been there for a really long time. So to wrap it all up, I think unfortunately we just didn't. We lost the team aspect, which ultimately lost us the Ryder Cup.
Yep.
To go on to NFL Week 4. First game, Jackson Dart's debut. We were very high in talking about him to see what this was going to look like, especially going up against the Chargers.
Yeah, undefeated team.
Now the Chargers lost. They don't have both of their starting tackles.
Joe Alt got carted off,
and he's out for a couple weeks. But I was very impressed with Jackson Dart, even Scadaboo. He had 24 carries. He couldn't get in the end zone, unfortunately.
They had a goal line at the end of the game where they didn't run it to him once.
They had and no I formation. It was all out of shotgun, and that's probably a little bit because of Jackson Dart. I thought he played good though. He gave this offense a very new dynamic when it came to running the ball from the quarterback because he had 60 plus rushing yards.
I'm going to be tuning into their games moving forward.
Malik Neighbors though going out, that does suck. MetLife took another victim, unfortunately.
So there was I guess you could say like an emergency meeting over the weekend, like right after that happened.
Was it really?
About MetLife's turf. And I think it was the player personnel met with the Giants owner. Who knows if it'll actually matter? These owners really don't give a shit, but we'll see. I said it last week. Turf needs to go, and ironically and unfortunately, literally right after.
That does suck because I know Malik Nate. We were very high on him, saying like, hey, he's easily a top 5 receiver when he has a good quarterback to throw on the ball.
We don't even get to see it.
Well, did you see the numbers he's put up to this point in his career? They're like career Hall of Fame numbers.
Speaking of career Hall, we can when we go to the Rams game, but Puka is on pace to shatter every single record right now.
2,100 receiving yards and 175 catches,
and he just gets
like that.
fed the ball,
but just 4 touchdowns.
Did we put him on any of our season picks?
We did not.
Oh, man.
We
blew that.
Definitely should have.
But no, I thought, Jackson Dart winning at home against the Chargers, I thought the reaction after, there's no way they're starting another quarterback for the rest of the year.
Nope.
Which kind of goes into, I think they should trade Jameis Winston if you're going to keep Russell and just have him be the backup.
Poor Bengals.
Poor
Bengals, man.
Dawson, we need to play your reel from last week and put it side by side next to the celebration with the Giants coach and Jackson Dart.
You said
because literally everything
job.
you said was happening in that conversation. He was about to kiss him.
You saved my job. The next game, though, again, I kind of mentioned it. this one kind of has been manifesting on our show specifically because we've had this topic. And, I know winning a game doesn't come down to just one player.
Oh, the defense played great.
Defense played great. The run game was awesome. They ran some fake tush-push bullshit that I was.
They've done it before. They did it last year, but worked, I love when it works.
It worked so to a T. But the Buccaneers lose at home. Eagles come in and win.
0 passing yards in the second half.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I look, as much as we want to say the Eagles are boring and the Eagles are this and Drew Brees is coming out and saying, well, they're boring to watch, but I've never heard, and then people coming back and going, well, I've never heard of a 4-0 team being like they win games. I see both sides of it. I really do. I understand too, you have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and even Dallas Goedert. And it's like, if you don't start involving them, they're going to slowly just kind of check themselves out.
Seems like they all went to Goddard, quite honestly. He had like 2 touchdowns.
He did. And they were both on like little flips right in the red zone.
Yep.
It's very interesting because I don't think we're really going to see some type of change until they lose a game.
Nope. And when are they
going to lose a game?
Like,
that's
when
the thing.
Hell are they going to lose a game?
But my argument is when you kind of do this and you leave your stars out, whether that's intentional or whether that's just what happens during the game, those guys are naturally going to kind of just start to check themselves out. And then when you need them most, when you're down 20 points or when you're down 14 points, kind of like last week where all of a sudden AJ Brown started catching a ton of balls and it's like, okay, this is what it's supposed to look like. It's gonna, I think, cause some negative or I just don't think it's a good recipe when you're leaving out stars.
Well, I mean, they also have yet another new offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I think this is like Jalen Hurts' 6th. It's getting ridiculous, but the way their offense looks right now, they don't have to worry about losing another coordinator to a head coaching job. So at least, you got that in your back pocket. But on to Dawson's team.
Yeah.
And Drake May.
It was really nice.
God.
It was really nice to see my team. I think I saw a stat for the first time since 2021, we've scored over like 35 points.
Bang.
So I was watching this and we just kept on scoring. I was like, wow, I forgot what this feels like
fun.
to have my team score a lot of points. And it was like, it wasn't just like some fluke or some punt returns or interception returns. It was the offense. It was Drake May marching down the field I still think Stevenson being the starting running back was, I don't get it, especially Henderson being with the touches he does get. It's like,
if you gave him a full game load, dude,
I agree.
I don't know what their plan is there.
But Drake May looks great. And I don't know the exact stats, but there are a lot of stats flying around of, his passer rating and having 2+ touchdowns and having the first person to do this and since that and Josh Allen and all these comparisons. I still think, though, coming up this week, we'll talk about it a little bit later.
Oh, yeah.
But this week, Sunday night against the Bills.
It's the test.
It's the test.
It's a big test.
It is the
in
big
Buffalo, they're wearing the white rivalry uniforms, and it's a whiteout.
And I don't think the Bills played amazing. I mean, they kind of let the Saints have them, have a good game with them.
Put up 19 on them.
And I think by far we are way better than the Saints when it comes coaching, quarterback play, everything. So there's hope. But I think that is going to be the true test to see if this whole Drake May thing is starting to kind of figure it out. And we'll go from there. I also think I've heard Rich Eisen, I've heard a lot of people come out and say that Drake May has been the biggest step out of all those second-year quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
Bo Nix is kind of...
He's regressing
a little bit. Caleb, you could say Caleb has looked better, especially the past couple weeks. But Drake May, I would say, on paper, has been the guy to take the biggest jump from last year to this year.
Yeah.
So it was awesome to see a lot of points scored. My team winning on the sidelines, of McDaniels going up to him, being like, this was awesome, great job, and he goes, this is only the beginning. That's stuff you want.
Oh yeah.
Out of running the ball, just everything. It looked really, really good.
On the other side of the ball, I think Bryce Young's probably done in Carolina. I think we talked about it last year. I do think a team that has an aging quarterback, quite honestly, I could see the Raiders trying to make a move for him because they have coming up this next game, actually. I'm asking about why they didn't draft one, but I mean, the Rams, even I know maybe not the Dolphins, but there are a few teams that really could, at least in reality, there's a reason to think they could get the most out of Bryce Young, especially the Rams. I really think that the Rams might end up being the one team that makes a move for him, but it's not working in Carolina.
Well, and the trend of some, we've talked about it a ton of kind of just having a reset. Especially for these quarterbacks in Baker Mayfield.
His third reset, I think.
Geno Smith, you can argue. I know he hasn't played the best this year. Who's the guy that played Seattle? Sam Darnold of what he's been able to do. Yeah. So Bryce Young could be the next candidate for a reset, get him with a new coach, get him with a new system, a new just environment.
He just needs to get out of that town.
Yeah. He needs it.
Well, and we saw Baker started. Baker went there, and it was the same thing. Their QB room.
I mean, take a look. They had Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, and now, Bryce Young. It's not crazy to think that Bryce Young could just automatically turn into a good quarterback outside of Carolina. I think it's just a dog shit organization, and I don't hate their head coach, but something's not working, and I'm not going to put all the blame on Bryce Young because we saw it at the end of last year. He's capable. Yeah. So but. On to my favorite team.
Yeah,
feels good to finally be on the other side of this.
And people will look at this and go, "But it was the Raiders." I don't care.
But it was the Cowboys last week. Oh, and they just tied the best team in football. Sorry, guys. An NFL team is an NFL team.
I agree.
And last year we lose that game. We did lose that game. We lost that game like 7 times last year. And so seriously, even as a Bears fan, when I saw that the Raiders were going to have the ball back with about a minute and a half, I was like, okay. I just kind of sank back into my seat and I was like, let's see. And then they just started driving. They bring it into 50 yards. And I'm like, oh no. We're back.
Did you see the halftime interview, Dylan, of your coach?
Yeah, but hold on though. That is being clipped out the ass to make him look. If you watch the full interview, I don't know if you have.
Oh.
That reporter crossed a line.
I agree.
You do not cross with a coach, of basically looking at him and going,
you need to change
something. And he took that as like,
oh, you think so?
Who are you?
Yeah. Like, I'm
not saying
he did address it.
I don't think the coach was out of line. Are you kidding me?
No, I know.
The reporter was totally out of line.
Most people are clipping it, and they clipped it way out of context.
Oh, yeah.
To where when you look back and watch the whole thing,
it's made its way to talk shows, and
the reporter
even
had
Stephen
the
A.
issue
defended him. It was Ben Johnson even addressed it in a press conference and said, like, I definitely could have handled that better. I was just in game time mode, and
to ask that question in the middle of the game, well, you need to change something. I couldn't believe she said
that.
It
wasn't who do you think you are now?
But I think the Bears needed to win this. It was a sloppy game, pretty much the exact opposite of last week. There were a lot of pre-snap penalties. We were playing behind the sticks. And we still won. We got 4 takeaways on defense, and we're still missing 4 starters. And so it's building optimism. We have a bye week this week. I can't remember the last time I had actually like real optimism going into a bye week. And
I can. Let's go back to. Can we run last year's tape? I'm pretty sure you were pretty optimistic.
No, the bye week was, I think, after Washington. So
yeah, because you guys had all of those.
So it was after Washington. But on the other side, why didn't the Raiders draft a quarterback this year? There were plenty of opportunities. Well, did you really bank it all on Geno Smith?
I maybe not banked it all, but I think Geno Smith played good in Seattle to go, okay, as long as he doesn't be our guy for a couple years. He doesn't turn over the ball, like
even more so than if there were a few quarterbacks that definitely were worth at least taking a flyer on, and even Shador, dude, it's like now you're stuck. Yeah. You've got Aiden O'Connell as your backup. You know what he's going to do.
Well, speaking of Shador, what's funny is this whole clip of them coming out saying that they didn't want the Ravens to pick him, and now Lamar's out for 3 or 4 years or 3 or 4 weeks. If that kind of happened, he'd be slate to start, the next couple weeks, and then all of a sudden he plays good. Mm-hmm. Maybe a team trades for him because obviously, they have Lamar, so we can maybe get some value for this. So that's kind of a little, your ego of you being Deion Sanders and Sanders kind of got in the way of maybe an opportunity that could have happened to then lead to maybe you getting traded to another team.
Exactly.
But to finish off your team, I know it's really, really easy to make fun of you and the Bears. Not just us. I think everyone. It's just easy to do that. But when I look at this game...
It's the lowest hanging fruit in the league.
It is.
It's getting old.
I agree. I think it really is. They are up there. But I look at this as Caleb Williams was able to put his team in a position to win this game in the fourth quarter, going down, scoring a touchdown.
Let me read off a stat for you. Go ahead.
And then the defense kind of let up, but they came through, blocked the field goal, won the game with all the penalties, with everything. So to me, that's how you win NFL games because I don't care who you are. You're an NFL team. You are grown men out there trying to win, trying to keep their job. Mm-hmm. And you were able to figure out how to win the game. And that is what I think the Bears have not been able to do the past couple years.
Oh, yeah.
And we saw the opposite.
Well, it comes down to quarterback play. And seriously, I mean, these stats are not made up. And so it's like, and it matters. So for the past few years, I mean, like we said, the Bears have been in positions to win. And it's either the defense hasn't been able to get it done, coaching, whatever. But most of the time, before Caleb, it was our quarterback could not drive us down the field to get one drive, like just one game-winning drive. Caleb has 3 already. He should have 5. And these stats, these are passer rating by quarter in his career. In the first quarter, it's an 88.4. Then in the second quarter, it's an 89.1. Third, after halftime, it dips a little bit. It's an 82.7. And in the fourth, his passer rating is a 96.1. And so it's like the proof is in the pudding. And so obviously he needs to continue stacking these performances, but I have reason to feel confident. And I feel like the team has reason to feel confident moving forward when they're put in those positions. They didn't look like a team on Sunday that panicked ever. And there were times where you definitely could have panicked. I mean, 4 turnovers and the Raiders had the lead for most of the game still.
I agree.
So I do good bye week. Payback against Washington next week.
Right.
Hopefully.
So, guys, we got to talk about the Dolphins really fast. So, the fact that the Dolphins, they finally got a W Monday night. We learned some things on Monday, right? We almost got a new quarterback because they really tried to take out Tua on one of those plays.
It almost happened.
It was so close.
It was close.
Justin Fields should not be an NFL quarterback. That's, I think, pretty obvious.
He had his one SportsCenter highlight play, and everyone slobbed over it, and then he wasn't able to do anything the rest of the game.
And the third thing is losing Tyreek, I think, is really going to suck for us. The black uniforms were very cool.
Yeah,
I wish
good.
we'd wear those more often. However,
they look really good.
The black uniforms did look really cool. What is your... When he was like kind of, I don't want to say celebrating.
He wasn't. They said he was trying to be positive.
I understand what they said because they have to say that.
That's medical shock.
No, but his brother came out and said that.
Do you truly think he was like happy that I don't have to play for the Dolphins anymore?
I seriously think that was shock. I mean, his knee, imagine looking at your own leg. And
backwards.
Your knee is bent in like a 90-degree angle and your ankle is going the opposite direction, pretty much facing your ass. And so
it just was
I
weird.
think it was shock.
It was just really weird.
Like I quite honestly would be laughing. He said I think he either sent out a tweet or he just said it to a teammate, but he pretty much said that he was laughing so that he wouldn't pass out.
Did you see though that the way the money works out though for the Dolphins, like we will drop him, okay? Because most of his money this year was over. Active status. Yeah, like $1.5 million per game if he was active, and now he's not.
He dislocated.
They could drop him. We save a bunch of money. We only lose like $8 million in cap next year if we let him go by like
his
June
career is over. I think. He's already. I mean, he's 30.
He's done.
Obviously, he can come back, but like his one thing was his speed. He dislocated his kneecap. He tore his ACL and he tore other ligaments in his knee. He pretty much
tore everything.
He destroyed it, and it's
quite
honestly, if you want some quality of life after football, you're not going to come back.
I was going to say that to where when your one like X factor is your speed, and then all of a sudden this happens.
Yeah, this is gonna.
This is gonna have to change how you play the game. This is gonna. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration.
So let's talk about this team though that we thought was dead in the water, and then all of a sudden they come out and put on this performance.
And then there's another team that's actually dead in the water.
Before we talk about this team, I said this to Dad. The Chiefs this year are giving me we're on to Cincinnati vibes, and I hate it.
The Patriots.
I hate it. If it ends up being that the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl again, and this season started with the same way that season started, where they suck, and then all of a sudden it was on to Cincinnati, and they went on to win the Super Bowl, I might lose it. I might just crash out a little bit and go, no, you're telling me none of these teams could beat them. Okay. Now I know that the Chargers still have a decent lead in the division. They still have to do but
they have a game up on
all
them
the Chiefs have to do is get in, and I think they will. and it brings back.
No one's gonna want to play them.
It brings back memories of that year with the Patriots that they were able. Okay, you guys all think we suck?
Watch this.
Watch this.
Watch this shit.
So, this game, Ravens, Chiefs. Look, I'm sick and tired of giving excuses to the Ravens.
I mean, there's no excuse for the Ravens.
I know they have. Well, half of their starters on defense are hurt, and half of this, and half of that, and Lamar. I'm over giving excuses.
They weren't week one.
I'm over giving excuses.
And you already blew one game to a playoff contending opponent, and then you do it again to arguably your biggest rival, outside of the Bills. And so,
well, I think Lamar. I saw he's on like 1-7, 1-8 against Mahomes and the Chiefs.
It's bad. It's really bad.
So I'm done giving excuses. The best roster in football, all the praise they get, regular season champs, MVPs, all this crap. I'm over it. Like those things to me, they don't matter when you look back at the history of teams and sports and just everything. And they are going to be known, if they don't change the narrative in the next couple of years, they are going to be known as the biggest what if.
Oh yeah. In
the history of the NFL, I think, with how much talent you have. Yes.
Bills are up there too if they can
get
it done. But this is, I don't know if they're in their own head when it comes to Kansas City, but it's like every single time they play Kansas City. Derrick Henry had 8 carries on Sunday. And so you didn't even try to get the running game established.
In their head. I think it's kind of like Kirby Smart having Alabama in his head.
That too.
It's one of those things. It's just a block.
100. It's a mental block. Like they can't get over it. It's the Chiefs are just standing in their way and they're not budging. And it's going to happen again in the postseason if they play. I have
even
zero
make the
confidence.
Postseason.
That too. I mean, the AFC North is. I mean, the Steelers are up top right now, and then you have the Bengals at 2-2, and then the Browns and the Ravens at 1-3.
It's insane.
Speaking of the Steelers too, we're gonna have Flynn on the show in the next couple of weeks. He was there in Ireland.
I bet he really happy.
If you didn't see some of the reels, man, he had such a blast.
He's happy.
What a game to be at.
Yeah.
That was a great
game. He'll be on next week to kind of share his whole. We couldn't get him on this week because
isn't he flying back today?
Yeah, he's flying back today.
He gets back late.
He gets back late today before we wanted to film. But yeah, no, we will have. But yeah, I just, the Chiefs give me scary, scary Patriot vibes that year, and the Ravens are, I think, going to go down as the biggest what if team the past, with all the talent they have, that they weren't able to do anything of significance in the postseason, Super Bowls, or anything like that.
Nope.
Next one is this game
sucked.
Unfortunately ended.
I was very happy.
So I know you were.
I was rooting against both teams. This is like
just like watching the game, and it was like touchdown, it's tied now, and then they marching down the field and kick a field, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, game's over, wrap it up, it's a tie, and it was like,
what?
We're seriously gonna end that?
This is the NFL.
Yeah. What are we doing?
They need to either extend the overtime quarter to a full quarter, 15 minutes instead of 10. Especially if you're guaranteeing a second drive, it needs to be 15 minutes. Sometimes an entire NFL quarter it's just 2 drives.
Yeah.
And so it's ridiculous expecting a game to be decided in 10 extra minutes. And Green Bay has had a really bad 2 weeks. Like really bad.
Well, look.
And they haven't won a game since their left tackle said they weren't going to lose a game.
That's what I was going to say is
Life comes at you fast, man.
You guys were drinking the juice of everyone saying you were amazing and undefeated, and like it does with everything, football and sports
will humble you.
Always. And it has humbled you the past 2 weeks. Especially with a Dallas team that is not good, I don't think.
Dallas literally handed you the game-tying field goal. And I've watched that Matt Eberflus defense for 3.5 years at this point. I know exactly what that was. That's the exact same defense that set us up for a Hail Mary opportunity, or I should say Washington with a Hail Mary opportunity. It's just... He's going to get fired, and then he'll never be a coach again in the NFL. Yeah. But I think the bigger story is, I mean, the Cowboys look very good, but the Packers are they are not. At least I was quick to give them flowers just because,
I think everyone
obviously.
Was.
But no, there's clear issues, and I don't trust Jordan Love. Like I'm sticking to my take that I had a few weeks ago is that, can you trust him? Can you really trust him when a defense is not playing prevent for some reason when all you need is a field goal? It's going to be really interesting to see how their season ends up finishing, and we don't play them until week 15. So we'll know a lot about them before that. Week 15 and 17 is when we play them.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yep.
They backloaded that.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
They knew what they were doing with that.
Oh yeah, but get rid of ties.
Yeah,
It's
get rid of
stupid.
ties. It's stupid. I think we can all agree that ties
It's
are
the only American sport that has ties besides t-ball.
very stupid.
That's it.
Very stupid.
I don't even think high school soccer does ties, but if they do,
I'm sure they do just because it is soccer. But yeah. Anyway, we will get into our I love this.
Here we go.
On a
segment.
fourth and goal. Fourth down and 20. Fourth and 21. Not the way you want to try to extend it.
What do you got for us this week?
Okay.
Hold on. Before you go, our little intro that we have that we play of Chris Collinsworth going, "Oh, here we go."
yeah.
I heard him say that during the game on Sunday night,
Your
and
ears perked up?
I had like it was pretty funny.
Where's Chris?
Yeah. So anyway, fourth and long.
Okay, so here's a fun one. Let's just have some fun here. So one of these guys has to go. One of these guys has to go.
Oh.
Wayne Gretzky, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady.
Making
You
it
can
too
only
easy
pick
for
three.
me, Chris.
Which one goes?
I can only pick three.
You can only pick three of these four.
LeBron the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
I'm picking LeBron.
Like seriously.
Wayne Gretzky.
Not only is he the one with the least amount of championships, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Wayne Gretzky's awesome.
Wayne Gretzky will never be topped
Tom
as the
Brady's
greatest of his
staying.
sport. Same with probably Tom Brady, unless Mahomes decides that he wants to win 8. But the only discussion is Jordan, LeBron. But I'm taking 2 3-peats.
Yeah,
Taking 2 3-peats.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, so you've restored my faith in the youth,
Get LeBron
then
outta
understanding where
Probably
the true
what I
goats
would
are.
do, too.
Okay. Okay, so here's another one. This is interesting. So the NFL, I know they're all stuck on playing all these games all over the world and all this stuff, and now they want to do a bunch down in Brazil and all of this.
Yep.
So I have a proposal. What if instead of going international, what if they look at some of the big football markets in America where there's no professional team, like say Iowa, and they play in some of these huge college stadiums? What I'd like to know is what stadiums do you think would be cool to see
Alabama.
an NFL game in?
Alabama, Rocky Top, Tennessee Stadium.
But they're okay. I get that, but they have football already. And so, what about a place in the
Alabama,
middle?
then.
Like, what about Dawson, University of Montana? Like, how
That'd be
cool would that
pretty
be for Montanans?
Or going up to Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon,
That'd
Yeah.
be pretty cool.
It,
Or like historic sites, kind of like how MLB does like the Field
Nebraska?
of Dreams, or like the
or like
Raceway
how
game.
like UFC is fighting on like the
NFL
White
in the
House.
Sphere.
Yeah,
NFL in the Las
I
Vegas
hear what
Sphere.
you're saying. I don't think I don't.
Can you not think of one? Can you not think of where you'd like to see an
Now-
NFL
No,
game?
I can't. My
Rushmore.
brain doesn't go there though. My brain goes to I don't think the NFL cares about that. The reason why they're trying to do all the international stuff is because they're trying to grow in international
money,
art.
I get it.
So I so if I just kind of take my logic cap off,
NFL in Hawaii.
Hawaii
Yeah,
would
there
be
you
a
go. Well,
fun-
they used to do obviously the
Pro Bowl.
the Pro
Yeah.
Bowl, but they don't anymore. Yeah, you maybe like a North Dakota would be kind of funny.
yeah, except
Yeah.
for their stadium sucks.
I know, but I'm just saying, like if it was a
Yeah.
place like to market
Somewhere where people don't ever get to see professional football. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
okay.
Utah.
Okay, so here's
Oregon
another
would
one.
be
So
cool.
so here's
Montana,
let me give you an
funny.
interesting stat about Ohio State right now.
They don't
Their
play
first
anybody this
four
year.
games. Okay, they're allowing 5.5 points a game. 7 points against Texas, right? Grambling had 0. Ohio, Miami had 9. Washington had 6. 5.5 points right now is what their averaging opponents are scoring. That's a crazy defense. Do you think
It
they're going to
is.
be able to maintain this all year? What are you punting or are you going for it?
No.
I'm punting it just because they haven't played anybody.
Yeah.
It will equal out. I mean, they have a great defense. Don't get me wrong.
Well, yeah, the Matt Patricia and the Caleb Downs and
Yeah.
all that. They have a very, very skillful defense, and we've talked about that. But they haven't played anyone. And the team that they have played, Texas kind of really hasn't lived up to what Texas is supposed to be this
Yeah.
year. So that also plays into a little bit of a factor. They haven't started Big Ten play.
They start this
or they
week.
haven't played, the Oregons or the Penn States yet.
They played Minnesota this week, which they're not great either. I guess you could say it's a bigger test than the other teams they've played, but Illinois in 2 weeks is their one big test before.
Yeah.
And
obviously
Illinois
Penn
lost
State
by
and Michigan.
almost. I know they won against USC, but they lost to a ranked team by almost 40 points.
Yep.
When they were the 9th ranked team
Indiana,
in the
I
country.
think.
So I don't trust them in that. Yeah, look, Ohio State I think is going to be a bubble in or a lock for the playoff for as
Definitely.
long as they're in
NIL
the
is
Big
a
Ten.
thing?
As long as their defense is very good, though. They have a lot of talent, so it doesn't surprise me that number. Honestly, that number should be that.
It should.
With who they have played.
Yeah, it's like shit.
So yeah, like I hope that's what that number is. But that is really when you say 5.5 points. That's
I wonder if like the end
crazy.
of the season will be like 15.
Well,
points
if you want
average.
a crazy stat, go ahead and look at Georgia's defense from the first national championship that they won. Or it was, I guess you could say the second one too, but it was the first team, that core defense, I'm pretty sure they allowed like maybe 9 points a game for the entire year.
and that was before NIL too. So
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
it doesn't surprise me looking at it. It should be that with the talent you have, but only time will tell. It'd probably be around 10 points though when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Which is damn
On
good.
an average, yeah.
It's damn good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's stay in the Big Ten, actually. So I don't know if you saw, but Michael Cohen put out his top 18 in the Big Ten. Oregon, number 1. First of all, huge win for the Ducks going into the whiteout.
Yeah.
Dylan, you were wrong. You guessed it the other way. Dawson,
I don't blame
and me,
you for picking.
We had the Ducks.
Penn State though.
I am done. Penn State is never going to be able to find a quarterback, but Aller is dog shit, dude. Like, he's so bad.
Yeah, but the Ducks went into a hostile environment.
Oh, Ducks.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
an
mean,
Oregon Ducks story for
Heck
sure.
yeah.
It's,
And, Dawson, we've got some Ducks fans that watch our podcast.
Yeah, we do. And, I'll give you guys your flowers too. I think you guys went in to.
Dan Lanning's a great coach.
And
He's awesome.
I'm not going to say it, but boy, he looked like he was on something at the end of that game. So that was pretty funny. And it just like looking around the stands it was
Wired out of
that
his
was making me
mind.
laugh. No, I think Oregon going into Penn State whiteout, all the hype, night game.
Ranked, Penn State was like 2 or 3.
And then going into overtime where you shouldn't have gone to overtime, but being able to come out on top, even letting the crowd back into it and just everything.
It was 17-7, I think.
And
right?
I truly really like. Now I know people are going to say, well, they should be good. They have
unlimited NIL
money and unlimited. Yeah,
thanks, Nike.
Okay, cool. I understand that, but you still have to go out and play the games with your players. I really like their coach. I think their quarterback wasn't the best, but he
played better than Aller.
Played better than a fifth-year senior, so that was encouraging.
I think Aller's going to take the Carson Beck path and go to Miami after this.
I don't know if he's got any more because he came back. We were.
I thought
should he go to the NFL or should he come back?
As many years as you want.
Now I understand why people in his ear said you should go back to college.
Yeah, now people are probably saying, "Go for your masters."
Go for your PhD.
So listen.
But no, Oregon, I give you guys, I do give you your flowers. You still have to play Ohio State. I don't know exactly when that game is, and that will be the next one for me circled for them, just because I don't think the Big Ten is top to bottom the best, and it's really going to come down to the
funny thing.
Penn State.
So
they don't play each other. Oregon and Ohio State have to meet in the playoffs.
Really?
Yep. Oh, great schedule making Big Ten. Oh, thank God.
We got a shout out too for the Ducks, right? Because we got to get some Ducks stuff here in the studio.
It's okay, Big Ten.
I know. Yeah,
I see the vision.
What is it? It's Kevin and my aunt.
Well,
Shannon.
your uncle Kevin.
They
Aunt
are
Shannon.
huge Duck fans. So if you
Huge
want
Ducks
to
fans.
send,
They were at a game a couple weeks ago.
We will put it up
There
on
we
the
go.
wall. I still have a terrible towel here, so I really don't care.
You get to Oregon.
What team you are? I will.
The Ducks are
We will
sweet,
find a spot.
That's right.
For
hey,
anything.
they got it done. I thought they'd get it done.
You
They
guys
did get
got
it
your
done.
flowers for going into that environment. And winning
Speaking
that
of losses, though, weren't there like 4 top 10 losses in college football this weekend?
Mm-hmm. There were some big matchups.
Georgia shit the bed.
Yeah, Georgia.
I think there were like 3 or 4 top 10 losses.
Yeah.
I'd have to go look. So,
But top 10 losses to teams that were also very highly
yeah, but
ranked,
still,
too. It's
yeah,
not like
true,
it
very
was-
true.
Back on Oregon and Ohio State not playing each other, though. I see what you're doing, Big Ten. And it's, God, you want to say that Big Ten is, way better than the SEC, then put your best teams against each other every year, like what we do. Like that's a joke that Oregon and Ohio State don't play each other this year.
yeah. Well, they have
Okay.
18 teams in their conference, though, too. But okay,
That's stupid.
So let's change this up, you guys. Let me throw in your generation here a little bit. So EA, right? I don't know if you saw this, but Electronic Arts was acquired for $52.5 billion by an investment group led out of Saudi Arabia. How do you feel about that? What do you think that's going to do to Madden and some of the games? Dawson, you know what happens sometimes when private equity comes in to companies.
My only opinion on this, and I said it in our group chat when it happened, and people want to sit here and say that, no, they want to make good games, and they want to do this, and they want to do that.
No, they want money.
They sold. I don't think you understand how much money $55 billion is.
It's a lot of money.
Like, that is an ungodly amount of money. And I go back to when they first made college football last year. They offered to pay the athletes $150 a piece to be in that game.
Oh, man.
And they just sold for $55 billion.
Someone do the math on that, on how much money it actually would
Anyone
take.
who tells me that they want to make good games and they care. They don't. And this just proves my point further. They don't care.
Nope.
They have always been about money, and they will always be about money, especially now. So that is my one take on that. I think it's terrible for all of it.
It is.
I think it's going to, we were joking, like, we're going to get a live PGA and we're going to get a live golf and all this stuff.
We're going to get a Sims Riyadh edition.
But $55 billion, that is an unholy, godly amount of money.
I'm taking the money too.
I mean, EA is the worst gaming company, probably. Yeah. Of the big titles, they're the worst.
So speaking of, it's hard to comprehend an amount. Okay, check this out. Pete Rose, okay, the hit king. Do you realize that if a player came in right now into the league and got a hit in 162 games, every game all season, for 26 consecutive seasons, still would have less hits than Pete Rose had in his entire career? They'd be 44 hits shy. Actually, the dude should be in the Hall of Fame. That's all I have to say. I don't know if you agree, disagree. I have one last thing to say about baseball before we go on. But what do you think?
I'm on the fence that, I mean, we've talked about it with our Cincinnati fans. I think if the Hall of Fame ever comes calling, you give them the fattest middle finger ever.
I think that's
probably what's gonna happen. And then you make a Pete Rose Hall of Fame yourself, and you make a Pete Rose museum with his estate, and then you just say, fuck the MLB. This guy's a part of his own history. There's no reason that with all of the guys back then, and I get it, he was gambling. Oh, he was betting on himself to win. Well, ironically, that's probably the most, I guess, not the worst image. You're betting on yourself to win. You're not betting on like your unders and throwing games. Well, I mean, he knew he was great, and he was like, all right, I could probably get 4 hits today.
Make some extra money off.
So we haven't talked much about baseball though, but I will say, because the playoffs obviously started this week, but you do realize now there's only 2 teams that have ever had literally a payroll over $300 million. Only 2 times in history now has a team not made the postseason. And that would be the 23 Mets and the 25 Mets. So
I love it. It's awesome.
You gotta love it.
As an Atlanta fan, the Mets. I hate the Mets. So to me,
so funny.
I know we didn't make it, and I know, you're just, you guys have sucked the past couple of years. So I love it. You guys suck. You guys will always suck, no matter who you sign.
Dude. And Pete Alonso's gone now.
I mean, he didn't even have the eye black off, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm opting out of my contract."
So anyway, listen, I know baseball's coming. We'll talk more about it, but let's move on, guys. That's all I got for 4th and Long this week. Let's get into NFL Week 5 preview.
Before we get into it, make sure you leave a like, drop some comments, follow the social media pages, and subscribe to our channel because we love the support. We appreciate the support. But on to a really shitty week of NFL football. There is not many good games this week. And I picked 4 to talk about.
Yeah, week 5. First one we got on the list, Broncos, Eagles. This feels
is an interesting
a little bit like a trap game for the Eagles.
It absolutely is.
They're at home. The Broncos are kind of starting to play a little bit better. They were able to do what they should have done against a very struggling Bengals team.
It's a Bo Nix confidence builder.
But even that, though, the Bengals, I know their quarterback wasn't the best, but you still have to game plan around Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and some of the weapons they have.
Absolutely.
And I thought the Broncos did a very nice job of that, playing kind of up to the standards of what that defense was supposed to look like.
Good news is the Broncos won't have to game plan for the Eagles receivers. Thank God.
They just got to stop the
run.
Eagles
are going to do that for you, brother. You just need to play back. Stack the box. It's okay.
Breaking news, too, guys. Just came over. Adam Schefter just tweeted the Browns are officially setting down Flacco. He's going to the bench.
Yeah, it's Dylan Gabriel.
It's going to be great.
It was alluded to all week that it was going to happen. I'm not rooting against Gabriel, but I just have a strong feeling that he's going to lead the league in interceptions in 4 weeks. And then Shador will be.
And that's what we said was probably going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think
Gabriel, that's one step closer to Shador finally getting on the field.
Yeah, so I'm all, at least they're starting their rookie quarterbacks. They spent 2 picks in the last draft to do it.
Yep.
So let's see what you got.
Yeah.
Let's see if you have anything.
Not only that, but they also took 2 running backs, and one of them's really good, and the other one is probably going to get cut. So it's like the Browns are going to Brown. Like, God, you are such a bad organization.
But to go kind of back to the Broncos Eagles, this is to me a little bit of a trap game for the Eagles. The Broncos could come in, and all of a sudden you're looking at it going.
I don't think anyone should be surprised if the Broncos win.
Yes,
I mean the Eagles haven't looked great on offense.
Yes,
and so it's definitely shouldn't be surprised. But Buccaneers Seahawks, this is just a really cool matchup in my head. I saw this and just kind of my eyes lit up.
I see a lot of points being scored.
I do
in this
too.
one.
This is going to be a fun game. Like, this is going to be a really fun game. And I honestly don't know who's going to win. Seahawks are playing really good football. Like, really good football. Sam Darnold.
Bucs are mad.
It's time to have a conversation about Sam Darnold. Like, seriously. Like, he's a top 10 quarterback. He was last year. He is this year. His numbers are ridiculous.
He doesn't turn over the ball.
No. And yet another iteration of a guy that was on the Panthers and then decides to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
He went to the Niners. He had a stop in the Niners, just like Baker had a stop in LA with the Rams.
Yeah.
And then they take off from there. So I'm excited for this. But I do think the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield's playing like an MVP.
100%.
He seriously is.
100%.
And Ibuka.
I mean, Ibuka. Everyone kind of knew he was going to be special, but I don't know if it was to this. Like, if he keeps it up, even to slightly what he's doing right now, I mean, easy offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, we're going to hit his season numbers.
I mean, his season number, it was what, 800?
It's 700. Oh, sorry.
I think it's in the purple.
Oh, yeah, it's 800. Yeah.
800, and he's already at almost 300, and it's not even, it's week 5.
Well, and Mike Evans is out. Godwin got a heavy workload.
Very rusty,
on Sunday,
though. Very rusty.
He had 10 targets and only a few catches.
Next one, Commanders, Chargers.
Jaden Daniels returns. That's why I put this game on. Otherwise, I wouldn't.
And this is a good test, I think, for the Chargers to look and see if they can bounce back and be able to be that team who can compete with the Chiefs for that division, especially with the lead they have. They've given themselves a good lead.
They just can't give it up.
They just cannot give it up. To me, it kind of, I mean, who gave up the division? It was like the Falcons that gave up the division lead last year.
They had like a 3-game lead.
Yeah. So it kind of gives me a little bit of reminiscent of that. But I do still like the Chargers. Hampton was, I mean, he's going to be, for the guys who picked him in fantasy.
Kaiser, give me the camera real quick. Kaiser, if you ever thought in a lick of just an ounce of hope that I would have ever traded Omarion Hampton before I knew Najee Harris was going to get hurt, no. This guy, oh my God. And he's good. He's really good.
Very good. He's turned, I mean, he was a 3-down back the whole game, catching balls out of the backfield. Everything.
He will be all season because, I mean, obviously it's unfortunate that Najee got hurt, but I think I'm interested to see how Jaden Daniels looks because they took their time. I don't know if it was the organization that said it or this was just a clickbaity title that Washington was trying to avoid another RG3 situation. But I mean, I understand it. Like, seriously, if that was your thought process, why would you why would you even risk? I mean, with a knee injury that, bringing him back early, a rushing quarterback.
Beginning of the year, too.
Yeah, it's like, this is smart. And the Commanders, I mean, like, they've had one good game and then one bad game. And so they are you weren't the highest on them going into the year. So this honestly is a big test for them too.
Yeah, and I think their defense is still older. Their defense is still, they have a lot of old pieces, and are they going to be able to keep up and kind of do what they did last year, or was last year a one-hit wonder?
They're a very old team. They're a really old team.
My team, we are picking this game.
Sunday Night Football. We've kind of already mentioned it. This is a huge test, I think, for Drake May. Yeah.
This is a huge test to see if kind of these numbers are a little inflated because we haven't played the best teams, best defenses to really go into Buffalo and make a statement. And Buffalo, they didn't play the best against the Saints. They kind of slipped up. They let Spencer Rattler kind of rush all over them. So I am excited to see that this is the first time in a long time that I have been excited really truly excited and like anticipation building to watch my team play a game.
Got a primetime game too. Like,
And a
clearly
primetime.
the NFL thinks that there's something to watch as well. And so this is going to be, I'm going to watch, obviously I watch a lot of the primetime games through and through, but this one specifically. And I think the Bills are wearing their rivalry uniforms. They're all white. The stadium is going to be all white.
I wish we were wearing ours.
Yeah,
it would look
they
good.
will. I mean, when you guys play, I'm assuming they're just doing home games, which sucks, but I'm assuming you guys will have them later in the year, and it might even be against the Bills whenever they come to Foxborough.
But I am looking forward to, for a while, my team being on Sunday night to a big test for Drake May. To our pick'ems, though. First game, Thursday Night Football. That is tomorrow. 49ers Rams. Great rivalry, great division game. I think the Niners are sober. I don't even think there are reports saying that Brock Purdy might not even play.
Dude, Christian McCaffrey did something in the offseason that cursed the rest of his team to give him all the health.
He's been yeah.
He is like siphoning the life force from other 49ers players. You're not fooling me, Christian. This is, I mean, I'm picking the Rams. The Niners are just so hurt. Nick Bosa's torn ACL now. It happens every year to them too.
Rams D-line is good. If they can rush the quarterback pretty well, and whether Brock Purdy or Mac Jones plays, I think they can cause some turnovers.
The Rams.
I'm going to take the Rams.
Oh.
And Puka, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, that offense against how banged up that defense is.
Yeah. Stafford's playing like a top 5 quarterback.
Big noon kickoff. We touch a little bit on college. Wisconsin versus Michigan. I'll probably go Michigan. It's at home. Wisconsin, I think, has played decent this year, but going into to Michigan is no easy task. No. And
Michigan's not a bad team. Obviously, I mean, their quarterback is kind of shaky, but he's obviously a true freshman. I don't even think he's 18 yet. So I do think, Michigan, just purely from recruiting and transfer portal, they have the better team, and they'll probably win by 1 or 2 scores. Maybe even more, though.
College game day. This is a big one, especially after beating Georgia last week, and Vanderbilt is now undefeated.
Vanderbilt beat them last year, too, remember?
Yes, they did. So Vanderbilt at Alabama. Vanderbilt's ranked 16 in the country. Alabama 10, jumped to 10 after beating Georgia. Mm-hmm. I want to say
Give me Vandy.
I want low key. I just want to see it. I'll take Vandy. I'll take the upset. I don't even know if you can call it an upset.
Ooh.
But I'll go with Vanderbilt going into Alabama again, and maybe because Alabama's going to be riding high off beating Georgia, so they might not. I'll go with the upset with Vandy in Bama, and that's Vandy. College game day, 7:00, so it's going to be kind of a prime time. You can look at it like that.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with Vandy.
At college game day at 7:00, that's kind of crazy. That's a long broadcast. That's a really long broadcast. But Vikings Brown, we got another London game. This is the Vikings' second. They went from Ireland to London.
Yeah.
More people in London, though. They're going to have to watch the Vikings and the Browns.
And then they have their bye week. Yeah, this one sucks. Give me the Vikings. Obviously, Brian Flores is going to make Dylan Gabriel's life hell.
Yeah.
Like absolute hell. Dylan Gabriel's going to have 3 or 4 picks.
Yeah.
It's not going to look pretty. It's going to look reminiscent of Justin Fields' first start whenever the first time he played for us, where he was sacked like 10 times and he was 5 for 20. It's not going to look good, guys. I'm sorry. Dylan Gabriel is welcome to the NFL, buddy.
Brian Flores is licking his chops this morning. He
is going to fuck him up. It's bad.
I agree. Next one, like we kind of mentioned, Patriots Bills.
Yep.
I
do it.
I'd like not to, but you know what?
Do it.
Who cares?
Do it.
I'm gonna take my team. I'm gonna go with the Patriots. We've played good. Drake May has looked good.
Stephon Diggs revenge game.
This is also true. I think the Bills, didn't play the best. Maybe that can they didn't play good last week, so they're really going to play good this week.
Christian Gonzalez is finally back and playing good.
I'll go with my team, the Patriots, on this one. Although I should probably go with the Bills if I'm really looking at it like that.
This is a good week, though, for you guys playing them, because they weren't exactly the sharpest
short
last week.
Division game. I'll go with the Patriots.
Hell yeah. I am going to take the Bills, but I do not think it's going to be a blowout. I think this game comes down to the last drive. But Josh Allen was MVP for a reason.
Yes,
so
he
if the
was.
ball is in his hands with a tie game with a few minutes left, I'm sorry, Dawson.
Chalk it up.
Yeah.
I agree with
Unfortunately. So,
I agree.
yes, give me the Bills. I know obviously they're AFC teams, but Chiefs at Jaguars for the Monday night game. I can't remember a time where they've really played, or I know they may have played. I don't know. This is such a weird matchup.
Yeah.
Like I never think of these two teams playing each other. And it's after what happened with Jacksonville last week with the 49ers. They're 3-1.
Well, I don't think Jacksonville's bad.
No.
I think they have their holes, especially on defense. Yes.
They're actually the top 5 unit right now on defense, which is the crazy part.
I still think they have their issues, though.
Well, they'll run into the Chiefs this week. And so
I'm going to pick the Chiefs just because I think Jacksonville, winning a game against the Chiefs just seems like an uphill battle. And it's not like they have some true home field advantage.
Well, the Chiefs know that these are must-win games before Rashee Rice comes back.
Yes.
I mean, they knew they couldn't fall to 1-3. They're 500 now, but now you have to catch up to the Chargers in the division. Yes. And the Broncos aren't going to slow down. They're only getting hotter. This is the must-win game for the Chiefs, and they're going to treat it like that.
So I'm going to go with the Chiefs, although I do think Trevor's playing pretty good. I know they've had drop problems. ETN has really kind of stepped up from what he was last year.
100%.
And it kind of explains why they were willing to trade Bigsby away. I mean, it could be entertaining. A lot of points, maybe. I do like the Chiefs, though.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs.
It's hard to pick against them.
I mean, they've got one of the best play callers in football, one of the best quarterbacks in football, and then one of the best defensive coordinators in football. That is it's really, obviously you need a good unit on both sides of the ball too, but those three are arguably the most important.
I agree.
I
agree. To go in to wrap up today's episode, like we do every week, we have our player props of the week. I've done I've gotten shafted. I think I'm 4-0 on mine. I want to say on the season, so I've done pretty good so far. But this week, I'm going to kind of go on top of the Monday night game we just finished. I'm going Xavier Worthy over 56.5 reception yards.
Receiving yards.
Receiving yards.
Gotcha.
I picked this. I mean, I think we saw last week. I think he had almost 11 targets when he came back.
Mahomes was so happy to have him back.
Mahomes can't really trust Kelsey all so much. I would say he's the most reliable target right now, so he's going to just get the majority of the targets before Rice comes back. This is one
deep pass.
And I mean, so in a game where they're probably going to have to score some points, especially with the Jags offense being what it is, and them being able to score points, I like Mahomes just feeding Worthy the ball. So for the sheer volume of the opportunities he's going to get, I like the 56.5.
Yeah, that's a good pick. And I'm going to take, because the Lions play the Bengals this week. So, hey, if you guys are thinking about betting the Lions, you might as well just make a 6-leg with all Lions players, and it will hit.
To maybe all Montgomery score a touchdown,
take the overs,
score a touchdown,
take the overs on everything.
St. Brown to score a touchdown,
and bet the house on it, because the Bengals suck, and they are not going to be able to stop a nosebleed. Especially not for Amon-Ra St. Brown, which is where I'm going with this.
Nosebleed. I think this is worse than a nosebleed.
This is going to be
it's like bad. Yeah, it's bad. But Amon-Ra St. Brown's line,
this is like
very
Tyreek's
surprising.
knee.
His line is only at 68.5 receiving yards. I think he has closer to 200 than he does 68.5. So quite honestly, the Bengals just decided not to add a quarterback this week. They're clearly giving up on the season for some reason. Let's talk about that for a second, I guess, before we get into our KUTT Bet of the week, because I think we can all agree that the Bengals are doing the wrong thing by playing Jake Browning. There's just too many options outside of that to not be thinking about bringing someone else in.
Especially after what they just did against the Broncos.
That team quit in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Jamar Chase kind of quit. You saw T. Higgins.
Well, they were down by 20, and it was like a 4th down and 2, and they punted it.
Yeah.
They punted it.
Yeah.
That is, you look at your head coach and you're done. You're defeated. That, I get that your quarterback's out, but that should not be an excuse to just throw in the towel.
Well, they got to try to get a couple of these wins before they get Burrow back, or else
and if
they're
they
just
don't,
done.
then what's the point of Burrow even coming back to play?
Oh yeah,
exactly. What's the point of Burrow coming back at all?
That's what I mean.
like
So
ever.
yeah, it's and this is
Just saying.
the trend of just organizations that are run so poorly, just so poorly.
I feel for them. I do because we've been in this situation.
And I saw a clip.
Probably just as much as you
I
guys.
saw
have.
a clip, and it was, I think, like multiple plays to where they were only rushing like 3 or 4 people, and both tackles just get beat instantly and get a sack on Browning, to where it's like,
Yeah, it's bad.
yeah, no wonder Joe Burrow
Is getting killed.
is
out
getting
there.
killed and wasn't able to stay healthy for
He's
more
gonna
than
have the next
2
Andrew Luck
games.
story, dude.
Yeah,
It's
he
sad.
is. He's
It
an Andrew
sucks.
Luck. He is.
To go into our cut bet of the week, though,
Yes.
this one, I do think it. I think if anything, if my team doesn't win, they do cover this.
Yeah.
But the Patriots are plus 7.5 points this week
I was
against
surprised.
the Bills.
I get that the Bills are at home.
I do think they cover this.
This is a division rivalry. This is the Patriots are playing good.
and Buffalo
100%.
kind of slipped up a little bit. They're
Yeah.
not playing. I do think the Patriots cover this. If they don't win, whatever,
Yeah.
if we keep it close, but if we cover this, I think we're showing, hey,
Yeah.
we can compete with the Josh Allens of the world,
Yep.
with the Buffalo Bills of the world. We can go into their stadium,
Mm-hmm.
and I like this though.
Yeah, definitely.
This seems a little too high, especially like you kind of said.
Like I
for
said, the
division
scenario earlier, I mean, I do think it's going to be a tie game sometime in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it may just come down to Josh Allen driving down and they either get the touchdown or the field goal. That covers. But just to, obviously it's a cut bet of the week. So Cut Bet is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that allows its users to wager directly with other users on any publicly verifiable result in sports, entertainment, politics, and more. Obviously, this episode is sponsored by Cut Bet. Cut users set the terms of any wager they make, and the possibilities are endless. So stop talking, start competing against your friends and other users to prove who really knows what they're talking about. If you disagree with us, I mean, this is probably a good week where a lot of people are going to be on the other side of this. But maybe this is the one we finally win.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hey, and when they sign up, use code I75Live.
Use code I75Live.
But yes, cut bet of the week this week, Patriots plus 7.5.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Well, that will wrap it up for today's episode. A lot of college games going on. Not too many NFL games, like we mentioned. We kind of tried to pick the ones that were most entertaining. I think, honestly, the most entertaining one might be the Sunday night game with my team.
Yeah, it could
just
be.
to really see what that's going to look like for both those teams.
Unless the Broncos-Eagles decides to be a shootout.
Yes. Or what was the other one that we said might have a ton of points? It was the
Seahawks-Bucks.
Yes, that one. Yeah. So, but that will wrap up episode 58. Another great week in the books. Also, our bets are behind Dylan, our season bets that we kind of did throughout the season. I think the ones that look the best is Debo, who has 2 receiving touchdowns already. He's at 3.5. I think the Kyle Pitts one looks great.
Yeah.
And I think the Egbuka one is also looking really, really good when it comes to some of our picks so far.
Caleb Williams one is doing pretty
Caleb
good, too,
Williams is doing
Caleb
good with
Williams
touchdown
is gonna-
passes. Yes, that is true.
I think the whole board's
The
looking
Penix one with 3,500 passing yards. The whole board looks good. For Chris, though,
We're doing
unfortunately, Mike Evans got hurt, so that one's kind of on stall a little bit. But no, I think
Chase Brown is
5 weeks or 4 weeks into the season, I think we're doing pretty well on that. But yes, that will wrap up episode 58. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Any stories that are going into this week, college, Ryder Cup, all that stuff. And we'll see you guys next time.
Sir, it's been real, guys.